Yo, what's the word, YouTube? It's your boy Smoke With Me TV rolling up another one about to catch this cipher. We got your boy on here, Casey. Y'all, listen, this right here about to get crazy. So I know the playbacks is gonna be stupid. Listen, y'all really want to tune in and listen to what this man got to say. It might not be nice, you might not like it, but we're gonna be real with y'all. Frankly, we don't even care. I'm saying this is my boy right here. This ain't nobody that, you know what I'm saying, like it's not like me meeting up with a fight or something. Nah, this is my guy right here. So and it's definitely about to get raw. You know what I'm saying? Let me slide this over to my co-host right quick. You know what I'm saying? But Casey, what's going on, my guy?
What's up? Big salutes for having me on. I appreciate it. Just want to shout out Team Judah, all CCB. Happy birthday, Flat. It's Flat's birthday today, so big shout out to Flat, Zeb, hometown, the Flaws. Shout out to all my guys out there holding it down, and shout out to you for staying true all the way through with everything that you do.
Now you already know, bro, and definitely CCB the mob, CCB the family. I'm saying you already know. Yeah, I mean that's the fam right there. That's what it is, and definitely happy birthday to the big bro, Dave Flat Sparks, man. That's my guy.
Word, for real.
And so yo, what's going on, Deep Free? Listen, man, tell the people out here, Case, who you are and where you from.
All right, my name is Casey. I'm from Brooklyn. Uh, I have education behind me. So when I talk about these things, I'm not as dumb as I look, I promise you. So I have a bachelor's of science and a master's of science in physical education and exercise science and a mind in nutrition. Just want to put that out there before, people might say certain things. But at the end of the day, I'm facts over feelings. That's what I'm about. At the end of the day, everything's simplified into 1/2. There's no gray areas in life. The only gray areas in life are the ones that you try to justify irrational behavior with. That's all I'm going to say. So I've been conditioning pro fighters, amateur fighters for almost half my life. I just turned 37 last week. But I've worked with Zeb, all his brothers, Flat, his brother, Curtis Stevens, Danny Jacobs. I trained for his comeback fight back in 2012. The list goes on and on. Dimitri Salita, Monty Barrett, everybody I've worked with. That's credit to my father who brought me into this when I was young. My father trained a lot. I trained also under Yoel Judah, but I didn't take it as serious as everybody else that really went far with boxing. But I've always stayed a little bit on the back end. And these guys hit people. I hit the books a little more. That's the only difference. But we're still in the same frame, in the same lane. And I'm here to clear up a little bit about the Ryan Garcia debacle. And in terms of just what people have been putting out there, I'm here to squash a lot of the fallacies because I feel it's right. And because of the mentors that I have in my life, shout out to Mac Truck, shout out to OG Viking, shout out to my 5%ers out west. You guys are like family with me. You guys have really enlightened me with a lot of elements about in and around fitness and wellness and bodybuilding and also this type of stuff. Also, big shout outs to my mentor, Dr. Pat Davidson, who was my exercise physiology teacher, professor, also kinesiology, and he's multiple PhDs. He's highly decorated around the world. Anything you want to ask him, go ahead and ask him. You can find him. You can hit him up. Dr. Pat Davidson on Instagram. He's my go-to resource, and he's really all about proving what works, proving what doesn't work, and all that other stuff that you hear that's just a lot of noise that really is a lot of propaganda and marketing. So I just want to clear that out there before anything else. I'm all about feedback. I'm all about enriching myself. I don't know everything. I've been studying this for about, I want to say 12 years, and I'll say maybe I've only come about 20% of the surface with this. But my 20% of knowledge is a lot more than a lot of these so-called strength coaches and out here that think they know certain things when they really don't. And, I'm not hating on them. I'm not a hater, but I will be exposing some things today when we get to talking that, listen, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to tell the truth. At the end of the day, I have enough friends. I don't need no more. I got you, Smoke. I got Flat. I got all Team Judah. I got everybody with me. I don't need no more friends. We just here to bring the picture to the light and to really see what's really going on the back end and bring it to the forefront.
All right, so when it comes down to this whole Ryan Garcia getting popped for Nandrolone and Acetine, whatever you call that shit, like, how do you feel about that situation?
Well, I feel that Ryan Garcia, coming off the tank loss, might have lost a little confidence in himself. So instead of him going for the granddaddy elements, which is the real steroids, SARMs are not steroids. Chris Algieri just posted a video today, very basic. I don't know much about SARMs because the people that I've worked in and around, bodybuilders, amateur and pro, they might use SARMs at certain points, but the basis of their whole foundational supplemental protocol are real hormones, real steroids. SARMs are not steroids. What Ryan got caught with, the other item that he got caught with, what they said was DECA, is not DECA. That is the SARM of DECA. Ryan never took a needle. I just want to put that out there. He never did a pin from what he got caught with. Ostarine is in droplets, or I believe it is in droplets. I don't know if they make it in tablets. And what he got caught with, the NOR19 item, that's one structure off from what decadurabolin is, which is the real performance enhancement that really increases a lot of elements of the body to build and to gain mass and size and whatnot. So I would say Ryan wanted to take something that was legal. You can buy these in stores. Now, Vitamin Shop doesn't sell SARMs, but you could go to a gray area item store. You could even search up items that sound like steroids, but they're not. If it sounds like the steroids and they're not, they're most likely SARMs and or pro hormones. Ryan got caught with a pro hormone, which is the NOR19 element that he got caught with, and the SARM was the green. Just putting that out there. So he never took an injection. Never took an injection. Those are not injectables. So with that being said, I believe he lost a little confidence with the tank fight. A lot was riding on this fight. Okay, legacy, who he's going to fight next, what division he's going to stay in. So I believe that he wanted a little bit of an edge, but I feel he didn't want to go the fierce route and take, the real DECA, okay, clenbuterol, Anavar, because I feel that he felt that, man, if those are the real lines, man, I'm going to get caught. I'm nervous and this and that. So you take something that you could legally buy thinking you're going to get that edge and it's going to mimic the same effect as that steroid that really is the top dog. But he probably felt like, it's a SARM pro hormone. I probably won't get caught because it's legal, because it's legal, so I could buy it. However, that's an uneducated decision. And my whole thing is, I don't know where the coaches were in this process that were guiding him. To me, it sounds very amateurish. And for a guy, Ryan Garcia, who made all that money on the fight and who has all that money and all that following, you're going the Dollar Tree route. Now there's a lot being spoken about. Algieri posted a video, like I said earlier, about this. He didn't dive into a lot of things. Now, Chris Algieri got a lot of respect from him. He's a smart guy, an intelligent guy. He made the book, The Fighter's Kitchen. It's not about the fighter's kitchen, bro. It's not about food. It's about what's cooking, what's chefing with the chemicals. It's chemical warfare. Let's cut the bullshit out, Algieri. Talk about what's really going on. Even if you got to step on toes, it doesn't matter, because you don't step to a stomper. I stomp. So when I stomp, I make noise. So, and all call outs are mandatory. So I'm just going to,
piece of data.
That's it. Like, listen, it's facts over feelings. At the end of the day, it's running rampant in the sport. I put a lot of people on that I've come into contact with. I had a very long talk with a very world-renowned cruiserweight yesterday and the last couple of days about this, who has fought people that have taken real roids that he's confirmed through the channels of when he fought. And we had great conversation and dialogue. And a lot of what I've said, my inferences have come to this point. And I even called this out, and I sent you the text, Smoke. Did I not call it out on April 11th?
No, that's a fact.
About Ryan Garcia.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I sent you that text.
That's a whole fact.
I put it on my Instagram story. I had a conversation with a trainer who I work side by side with, who will remain nameless. And I had a feeling, it's just a gut. Now, the substance Ostarine is really for endurance, to gain a little bit of size, whatever the case may be. However, the main focus is to increase endurance and to increase lean mass, or to preserve muscle from being burned as you're working out very intensely. So the main items that really would do that job the way that it's supposed to get done, and they still have the same half-life, but it really just is about if he was brave enough to go through with the real one. And he wasn't brave enough, in my opinion. And there was a coach in his camp who's known throughout boxing and who's been a celebrity trainer all these years, He boasts about it. And right when Ryan won, he was going on everybody's page. He was going on. He even went on my page. It was my birthday. Somebody wished me birthday. A young bull that I strength and condition, said great strength and condition coach. And he said, not about happy birthday, but I mean, he said happy birthday, but he said, oh, I did Ryan's weight cut. I did this. And he was going on everybody's thing, Pro Box and Box Voice or whatever, all these other things, saying that, yeah, we did the weight cut. That was our plan all along, this and that. Where you now, bro? Where's the explanation? What was going on the back end with certain things? He told me he was 156. A couple of weeks leading up to the fight, he wound up being at 143, which is what I also professed weeks before, which is also through that text message of what I professed. I knew he came in probably heavy. That fight would have not have gone on at 150. Would not have gone on at 150. They would have said, hell no, 150? Oh, man, forget it. So he probably was about 153. He probably cut down 10 pounds in about 14 days. He was probably drained enough. Wanted to keep a little size on. Didn't want to burn out. You want to be flat. You still have to burn off some glycogen in the ring. It's a long fight. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So I believe that he got horrific advice. He made really uneducated decisions. I'm going to tell you one thing. He could have been on real hormones and real items that really do the job, and he would have passed with flying colors, because it's all about based off of the half-life of when these things remain in your system. Listen, at the end of the day, if you could take punches and you can't take a needle, you're a bum. You're a bum. You either go all in or this is what happens. There's a reason why certain things formulate the way they do, and there's a reason why certain series of events lead up to a certain point. And here we are today. And the people that were running his chemical components, they recommended the wrong thing. I believe Ryan was really probably against doing a needle or something, probably scared that he would get caught, and he wound up getting caught anyway. So you might as well have had the punishment crime. And the way these things are, SARMs, it's like a bunk version. Okay, it's not real medicine. Steroids are real medicine. Real. For example, and I'm going to say it like I've been saying a long time. Errol Spence. Sorry to knock you guys, fans in Texas, where he's from, Long Island. Dirty. Derek James has trained a lot of fighters that have been dirty. Errol Spence years ago opted out with the Charlos when the WBO had voluntary to opt into voluntary drug testing. They did not opt in. So once again, my inferences bring us to this point where there's a lot of fighters that you see at face value at a weigh-in, and you're seeing them, but there's more behind them that we're not seeing. For example, Canelo tonight, I saw the weigh-in with Munguia. He got a little gyno in his chest. Munguia doesn't. Look at the side-by-side profile. I don't know if Canelo had that a long time ago, but I'm a little bit more in tune now with all this situation going on. So Canelo's been dirty for years. Errol's been dirty for a very long time. He put people in retirement, put people in hospitals, ended careers. Porter didn't want a rematch, even losing by 2 points for a certain reason that he's never expressed. These are certain things that we just have to really look at. And I want to know the reason with that coach that we all kind of know in the framework. You've been training celebrity fighters. I mean, fighters and entertainers and all this stuff. What really went on? Since if you're going to take credit for that, you got to take credit for this. And let's get the answers now, because if you're not going to get the answers about it, then, you know, I'm going to be respectful and give him at least 48 hours to 72 hours to answer this before I start, you know, coming around and really starting to apply the pressure, because I know about these things. Like, I might not look like I do, but I do. I'm a nerd at heart. I do this tonight. I've been taught by some of the best in the world. I've researched literature by some of the most lucrative out there. Literature that you cannot even get there, closed on source boards with pro IFBB bodybuilders that go under different names, and also fighters, hence Evan Fields, which is Evander Holyfield when he was ordering roids. All that stuff. They go into different names to get these transactions done on the back end, on the underground. So, you know, it's chemical warfare in the sport. It is. It's here. It's not going nowhere. And I could give a lot of examples, you know, in a lot of frames. Better Biev, he pulled out. Why? Either he's hurt because sometimes when you're training very hard and you're going for strength training, sometimes with items you take, your strength increases faster than your body can keep up. You pull a pec, you tear a shoulder, you know, tear tendons. Also, Better Biev might have pulled out because he said, damn, you know, Ryan got popped. I have to rethink this now. I can't fight this right now. Something might happen, because he did have an atypical test with the Callum Smith fight. They let him fight. They said it was all right, but anything that's atypical to me is a little bit of red flag. If I pass 3 out of 4, that's a 75. That's not 100. 75% is not good enough for me. We need 100% across the board. So you know, I feel that my time now to be recognized is now, because all these other strength coaches and even, you know, no hating on the boxing coaches, but boxing coaches ain't scientists. Y'all weren't in chemistry class. Neither was I. I'm not a chemist. I don't know these things. I only know what I've been taught. I only know what I've been around. And I only know what I've administered to people on the outside, not boxers, but people that I've admitted these things to on the outside that want to get in shape, want to stay in shape. And don't forget, whenever time anything you do is steroid or any performance enhancing drug, not SARMs, I'm not sure of, but I'll talk about just roids, hormones, medicine. These are medicines that hospitals have that are needed for certain purposes for people that have ailments, wasting diseases, delayed onset puberty, things like that. They're used for those specified reasons. It's there. And the thing is just that those things are utilized for specified components the way SARMs are. It's just that SARMs are utilized for those that are afraid to take that next step into the dark side. That's really what it is.
All right, so you didn't mention some names, man. You just said some names. With the Canelo situation, I'm a very big advocate on Canelo being dirty. I've did a couple of videos about it.
Been dirty.
I've been feeling like that for years.
For a long time. And I'll tell you why. He started at 147, he fought Floyd. You went to Bivol, you fought him at 78. What percentage of that is a weight increase? Right? 35%, 40, whatever it is. Same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Started at 106, fought at 152. If I made that same weight increase and kept my speed, power, agility, I would be 425 pounds. So how am I doing 12-round fights with a 50% weight increase? It doesn't happen. You're going to have to sacrifice some level of, movement or functionality through a fight. It's impossible. You can't be 200 pounds and maintain the same flexibility, agility that you did at 120 pounds. It doesn't happen. Biology doesn't do that unless you're taking things to enhance that, to change your DNA structure, which it does. Once you take a steroid, your DNA is changed forever. You will never be the same in certain components as you were before you took it. That's 100% irrefutable fact. So just want to put that out there. People that do decide to use or want to use, just remember you're altering your genetic components. And, if you're using, you better, all these pros out there that think they know what they're doing and things, in that nature, you better have someone that's great, that has some type of ungodly credentials in science, biology, and everything in between. And for another example of dirty fighters, Klitschko fought in Germany for how many years? He stopped fighting in the States.
I be telling people that, I tell people about like, I like Inoue. He a great fighter, but the man won't leave Japan.
And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to drop knowledge on this. There's a lab in Japan. Now, in these places overseas, Japan, China, Moldova, they sponsor their athletes to make them superheroes. Okay? So, Inoue, there's a big lab in Japan called Genshi Labs. One of the top labs, underground labs in the world. It's not a real pharmacy. It's an underground pharmacy. However, there have been instances where labs like that, even across the world, you have Balkan Labs, which is from Moldova. They fund a lot of athletes from Uzbekistan, Russia, Poland. They've been caught. The owner of the Balkan branch has been caught. You could Google that. So Inoue, Genshi, they're very big on their athletes like Japan and China. They want to make them like the best, like model type specimens ever put out. So Inoue's like, man, this guy's a freak. He's 120 pounds, clipping guys like Tyson in there with ferocity and speed.
Yes, he is.
We're not looking at the fact that, man, Genshi got a big time lab in Japan that's a known one that supplies to bodybuilders of all kinds all over the world. Japan funds these things the same way Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani had an elbow injury last year. They shut him down. He's still hitting home runs, even if he wasn't pitching. He didn't fully rest or recover. He played opening day for LA and he's hitting bombs. Those things just don't happen. Like, elbow is a death sentence to a baseball player the same way a knee injury is to a basketball player. You need a lot of time to recover. You do. Swinging, throwing, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if Shohei Ohtani is a sponsored athlete from Genshi Labs in Japan. It just doesn't make sense. The guy's doing things that we've had great baseball players all over. This guy's doing things that haven't been done in 150 years. Not saying it can't happen, but with his injury history and just the frequency of him getting hurt, it's almost impossible to keep that pace up over a long period of time. So even paralleling that into a regular conventional sport in America, we have to start creating our logical inferences from the context clues we're getting from what we see from our eyes. Okay, not from what we're being told by promoters, by all these other coaches, by these people that say, yeah, you know, well, I boxed for 50 years and it's not like this. Listen, I'm not going to go tell a boxing coach how to train a fighter. Same way, like a heart surgeon is not going to tell a brain surgeon how to do surgery. They're in the same frame, but they're in a different lane. There's different compartments of medicine. There's different compartments of science. I just want to learn as much as I can from my mentors and my administrators, where I can then put that out there to save the sport, save lives, and keep the integrity of the sport at its apex, and also give awareness to the coaches out there of really what to look at, especially at the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins are there to divert your attention with the antics, the pushing, the shoving, the screaming. They don't want you to see what the fighter looks like. Compare the weigh-ins from the fighters' last 4 fights, 5 fights. See if they change their body composition, their muscle fullness, their width, their leanness, their dryness, their density. These are things we have to look at a weigh-in. The weigh-in will say everything. Don't forget about the pushing, Oscar calling, Canelo calling Oscar pussy, all that. Forget all that. Look at how he looks. Don't get caught in with the theatrics of the marketing capabilities of the fights of what they're pushing out here, because that's all what they're trying to do. And that shit Ryan took, Osterman's not a game changer like that. Look at Big Baby. He took it. Was he ever in shape? No. Did he throw a lot of punches in around? Yeah, but he never caught a knot. He wasn't knocking guys out. He was 325 pounds. He had the same punching power as Paulie Malignaggi. The hell's the difference? And Big Baby a cool guy, but like I said, I'm facts over feelings. Like, people want to hate, people want to say something that, you know what I'm saying?
All right, question.
Yo, for yo, hold on, Casey. This is my co-host, aka the Apostle. I think you probably
what up, bro? Blessing.
You probably came across them a couple times.
What's good, man? But I got a question,
yeah.
About what you just said. You said the stuff that Ryan took wasn't what? It wasn't that. You sounded like you said it wasn't that powerful, that potent, or something like that.
No, the pro hormone that he caught was probably the thing that really made the difference. The NOR19 item, which is a pro hormone, I believe, or that is supposed to be like the decadurabolin. Decadurabolin lubricates your joints. It's an insane mass builder. It's a known one. It's a very, very, very old, reliable steroid. That was not a steroid he took. That NOR is a fragment of the steroid. It is not the same. He did not shoot a pin on that. It is a non-injectable. Steroids are intramuscular injections, usually. Human growth hormone is subcutaneous, under the skin. So Ryan took, I believe, the pro hormones are very strong. Don't get me wrong. Pro hormones are almost as strong as oral steroids. They're very harsh on the liver. You could only take them for about 6 to 8 weeks, or else you might get a little yellow in your eyeball. The Ostarine, in order for that to be effective, you have to take it in very, very high doses, like bodybuilding doses, if you were going to use that. Ostarine is very harsh on the liver, a lot of side effects, and it's not as healthy as regular steroids. It's just they're not brave enough. That's all it comes out. They're not brave enough to take the prescription medicine of clenbuterol to cut weight, because clenbuterol, what Canelo took, is very strong. It's an asthma medicine, but you'll get ripped out your ass, and in 2 weeks, you're good to go. You'll be down 12, 13 pounds. Easy, just shred out. I believe Ryan used Ostarine to cut a little bit of water weight, to cut remaining water weight. I think he took too long to cut down, and that's why I believe that he got caught positive, because he didn't time the half-life. It's all about half-life. Listen, I can have somebody on 10 things, and they could pass and fight tomorrow. It doesn't matter, because it's all about timing. Life is timing. Everything is timing. So the Ostarine is a bunk clenbuterol, like it's a bunk thing. It doesn't really, it's not going to pack on really size like a real hormone does. That's for medicinal use. That's decadurabolin. What he got caught with the pro hormone side is used for people with anemia. muscular atrophy, things like that, increased red blood cell content. That's what that item is used for. If there was an issue, if you had to be in the hospital, if you had some type of ailment like that. So that's real prescriptive medicine. SARMs are not medicine. That's why they're not a controlled substance. I believe steroids are a Schedule 2 or 3. So if you get caught with a SARM, excuse me, you're good. You get caught with a steroid, you're doing a lot of time. And there's people in prison that have got that are in prison for roid possession. And a bodybuilder out in New York, that was Martinez, did time for that. And one of the 5% of guys that was very big, he's actually in prison right now. I'm not gonna name his name, but he's in prison right now doing time for possession of that. So SARMs are legal, pro hormones are legal. They're just very harsh, and for what he did to get the effects of what he got, it's not worth it. You might as well have gone for the regular items. And I feel that the people in his camp coached him horribly in terms of the chemical nature of what these things do. And the fact that he posted the ashwagandha thing to try to validate his innocence just shows that he's too emotional about it and shows guilt. It doesn't have to be a needle for you to get positive. These things are legal, but it's banned. The same way DHEA is banned in boxing. You get a GNC for $5.
Yeah, they
and the pro hormone is a
ashwagandha.
DHEA derivative. DHEA is are glands on top of your kidneys that keep your levels balanced, your GH levels, your testosterone balance, things like that. Try to keep your bone density in good standing. It's a legal supplement. It works synergistically with growth hormone in a way, but it's not an actual like sledgehammer onto that. But it is legal. But if you take too much of it, it will show up as a positive. So it's just about really being aware of what these items do. The difference between SARMs and the difference between actual steroids. SARMs are legal. You could go to any website and get SARMs. Then they're not that expensive, and you don't need to go to any medical practitioner to get it. Now, do they claim medicinal purposes? Yeah. Is it really a go-to for even in bodybuilding? You think bodybuilders waste their time on SARMs when they're getting real human grade growth hormone? All that shit, even with bodybuilding, they fake it out. Yeah, I gain size on grilled chicken and brown rice. No, they're stuffing ice cream. They're eating donuts. They're on a vial of GH a day because you can't get fat on it. So there's a whole bunch of components that lead into this in terms of just so many elements. I was even discussing with that former champion cruiserweight last night for a couple of hours that we had very good dialogue about this and shared a lot of good experiences.
So yeah, talking about the actual ashwagandha, however you pronounce it.
Stress management herb.
They came out and said that anything that he got caught with, they don't got none of that in their pills.
It's not. You can't get caught. An herb is not tribulus, which says, it increases your testosterone. It doesn't. In order to increase your testosterone level, you have to take an exogenous form of testosterone. That's what hormone replacement therapy is there for. Or androgel or testosterone pellets that Lamont Peterson got caught with years ago that they actually surgically put in, and it's like a slow IV drip of testosterone. Chris Algieri doesn't know about this shit. He just knows about cooking up a steak, cutting an avocado, making some eggs, utilizing his Berkshire pork belly on a motherfucking brioche bun. He don't know this shit. He got to keep in his lane. Bro, you a great fighter. You know what you're doing. Keep on with the Fighter's Kitchen. Make a part 2. Don't step on my toes with this because I'm going to tell you what's really up because the mentors that I've had, he never had. And, I'm just saying, I'm here to really put the wave in full effect now. And I'm here to really call out, especially that coach that was in his camp, that bragged about it. So now's your time to speak. I'm going to give him time to speak before I call him out. And once I call him out, that's really it. Because you know what? I'm looking at this like I've done this on my own for so many years. You know what? And I'm still doing it on my own. And nobody ever put me on to nothing. I'm using my own knowledge, my own foundations, my own mentors, and guys like you that I'm grateful for that are giving me a time to speak and let the world know what's really up. Yeah, I'll call them out. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is also with these other fighters, I'm lawyered up. I don't care. I have the best legal team in the world, Ryback and Ryback PLLC. Big salute to them because I'm good. So, if they want to come at me, defamation, this and that, go right ahead. But at the end of the day, if you're going to come at me for defamation, I want a blood panel for when you fought. So if you're not going to give me the blood panel of when you fought, where I can see what your levels were, then everything's erroneous. So, that's how I come with the receipts, man. Like I said, I called it 10 days ago, like I told on April 11th when I sent you that text. And even about, me suspecting something going on because when he was releasing those videos 10 days before, he dropped a lot from the initial the beginning of April, even when we saw he was like not really in shape and he was doing the smoking thing or whatever. Then 10 days before he's more ripped. I texted my guy, I said, yo, look at this. Come on, this ain't.
That's a fact.
This ain't just happening overnight.
There you go. Hold on, you pop back up.
You know, maybe you take diuretics or whatever, but they're not going to really mess with that because it disrupts the electrolyte imbalance. So, whatever he took, it provided a little bit of benefit. He got caught, but he took very bunk items that really it wasn't worth it for what he really wanted to do. Like, you might as well have taken the real thing and knock him out in round one, right? It still went the distance. So how much did it really help? It was the big baby complex. You needed a little edge. You got a little confident. You were coming into because you came off the loss of the Tank fight. You wanted a big money fight. He probably lost a little bit of like edge in himself. Got this back. Said, you know what? I got this behind me. I got that little extra battery pack, and I'm ready to go. And that's what it was because Devin was coming off some impressive wins. He was in a war with Loma, right? He beat Prograis. So, you know what I'm saying? Like he was feeling good about himself. Came a lot more comments. Ryan wasn't. Ryan didn't have a tune-up fight. He just wanted to go right into the money. Ryan's all about the money. Ryan don't care about being no boxer. He just wants to be a diva. That's it. I'm going to call him the Diana Ross of boxing. That's it. That's Diana Garcia. That's it. I don't really care. Like, yo, listen, here's what it is. Like, all call-outs are mandatory. You know what I'm saying? I don't shy away. Like, if a boxer want to come at me or whatever, I don't care, bro. Don't matter to me, man. Like, I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Any coach want to come at me? That's cool. I don't care. I'm not going nowhere, but I'm not saying I know everything. Through these circumstances, I'm learning also because I don't know much about songs. I'm not gonna sit here and say I know about songs because it's a little bit foreign to me because the people I deal with, they deal with the real shit, like the real stuff that puts them on stage, like next to Kai Green. Like, you think Kai Green is using SARMs instead of injectable? Like nobody's telling me that. Like, well, your SARMs have the place. Listen, bodybuilders in general, anybody that's using PEDs cannot go on YouTube and say I'm using this, I'm using that, without disclaimers and legal backing because it is illegal. So if someone takes it and they die, they're going to get sued. That's a fact. So people got to open their eyes up a little bit. There's a whole legality situation that we don't see about, that we don't know about, that, only if you put the pieces together, you'll be able to make the logical conclusion of really what's going on.
So you do believe that Ryan took something?
Yeah. And I believe that he took other things that weren't caught. For example, check drops. Okay. Now, I don't know if I told you about it. Holyfield was taking that, for a long time before the fights. It's a 4-hour half-life. 4 hours. Ryan Garcia was acting a little crazy in the fight, right? Or wrong, right? He was acting a little weird, right? A little too much, right?
Yeah.
So check drops they're given. It's a 4-hour window. So if he takes it 2 hours before, it doesn't increase your testosterone or nothing. It just makes you very aggressive. Like, you just want to tear someone's head off and play soccer with it. That's what it does. Like, that's a fact. You can look it up. It's a veterinary item. It's made for animals, but a lot of veterinary items that are made for animals, people could consume, and it really changes the complexion of their body. So what I believe he took check drops about 2 hours before, came in like a madman, threw some extra fire on those punches, and then when the fight was over, it's already cleared out. So I believe that he probably took that also, but that just wasn't caught. I believe there might have been other items in there that it just didn't get caught on the test. That's what I believe. And also, nobody ever takes testosterone by itself. There's always a stack. There's always 2 or 3 items attached to it. Testosterone doesn't really build the muscle as much as people think it does. It's the like the DECA, the nandrolones, okay? The other types of androgens. Those things build you. Those things change your complexion of every muscle fiber, bone density, ligament growth, tendon growth that you could think of, especially human growth hormone. The recovery aspect is undeniable. It increases your eye-hand coordination.
Let me answer something to somebody. Yo, Chuck, this is my dude right here, Casey.
Yeah.
Before the fight, he hit me and told me Ryan was on something. That's a fact.
You show the text. If you can pull up, you show the text. April 11th.
That's a fact. Like, and niggas want receipts. Fact. I will post the receipts that this man said this before the fight. He said this. He
9 days before
personally and told me this. Like, me and him always, we like this interview right here should have happened maybe like a year ago. We've been talking about this, my guy right here. Like, we've been talking about this. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't somebody coming up here like, yo, let me just jump up here and just say some shit. Nah, me and him done talked about some of these shits. The names that he didn't mention, me and him already talked about them same exact names a year or two ago.
Yep, 100%. And just for example, just to give people a bit of a background of the Errol Spence situation. All right, Errol Spence. Let's look at it like this: pre-accident, did he end anybody's career? And he wasn't he in more of his prime? He didn't end anybody's career, right? Not right. Post-accident, this is where it gets interesting. Now he had burns, right? Severe burns, right? Horrible burns, right? He was burned all over. In the hospital, you are allowed to be given steroids to preserve muscle tissue so you don't waste away. So when Errol got out of the hospital, did he have a tune-up fight? Nah. He went right in. He was ready. So when he got in an accident, that was the time when he was legally able to be sauced. Because I believe there were certain items that were given which you don't even have to eat on, and you pack on raw muscle, dry. As long as your diet's good, you'll be lean and have results. Not gonna lie to you, these are hormones. The hormones are the driving force of your body. If you have slow thyroid, that's a hormone. You take thyroid hormone boosters to get you burn fat faster. If you have, I'll even give you an example, and this is true. If you're fair-skinned and you always get burned and you're always getting burned by the sun, there's a hormone you could take to change the melanin of your skin forever. There's anything for everything. It's chemical warfare out here, and it's more prevalent now, not in the heavyweight division, but we're seeing it in the lighter weights. Years ago, it was Galata, right? It was Holyfield. It was Roy Jones getting caught, right? Klitschko getting caught. Adamic, whatever. Now what? Now what's coming on? You see in the lower weight fighters, because it's all about keeping lean, keeping tight, staying ripped, keeping that endurance and that stamina up. Now we're seeing the lower weights dive into these things. And Ryan just happened to go into the Dollar Tree version of what he really wanted to do. Ryan, if he was on real hormones, I'm going to keep it a buck, would have knocked Devin out within 3 rounds. It would not have gone the distance. That's what I'm saying. That stuff is junk. For him to take that shit and it goes the distance, it shows you what bunk garbage it is, because, yeah, it might increase your bone density. Nothing like the real item. Human growth hormone really does that. It really regenerates. It really regenerates the nerves in your brain. It does a whole bunch of things that is very, very, very individualistic for what it's supposed to do. And when you take human growth hormone, you will not get fat. Will not get fat at all.
I got to ask you one
burns
specific
metabolize
question.
too much of the blood sugar, and you're always going to be at your apex. Your joints are going to feel great, lubricated. You could train harder. You could train longer. You could train more than Kobe trained for basketball. You'll be up at 2 a.m. going to 10 at night. Just how it is. Like, these things are real. I've administered things to people. I'm not going to sit here and lie. This is where I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to go around and skirt around issues and things like that. I've administered these things to people. I've done diagnostic studies. I have. I've tested items before in the lab with people on my team. These things are very, 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 very dangerous in the sport of boxing. Okay, if you want to hit a baseball, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, go right ahead. Hit a baseball. When you're going to hitting people, you could really hurt. You could really hurt somebody. Devin's jaw was broken. Period. I don't care what nobody tells me. His jaw wasn't broken when Loma hit him, and Loma was hitting him with lefts at will. And Loma could punch for his size.
But now I don't think he got enough power. I don't think Loma got enough power to knock out my 12-year-old.
Right, but he the repetitive, he was getting hit, so eventually there's almost so much your face could take, like,
nah, for real.
Your face could take a lot of punishment, but when you're going up against somebody that took an item, especially the pro hormone is what I really think got him the extra strength in that fight, because pro hormones are very, very strong.
What about
For
that?
example,
He got caught.
Super drawl is number 1.
He failed 2 tests for nandrolone.
Right. Well, no, it was the nandrolone SARM he failed. The DECA is a chemical structure off. So the nandrolone, DECA is a nandrolone, but he failed the nandrolone version. The SARM DECA he failed. So he want the Deca is what he wanted. He wanted the Deca, but he took the one that was almost like it. The Psalms are the almost version. It's like, oh, it's almost going to get me there. It'll get you a little bit, but it's not going to get you like.
So it's like
it's
like you buying the big brand.
Real,
it's like you buying the big brand
medicine.
and then going to buying the store brand.
Well, the Psalms you usually get in gray area vitamin shops where like it's not a franchise. They're usually mom and pop owned or very, very small. Like they have like 2 or 3 stores in circulation. You could get them online somehow with certain supplement stores. They're legal. They're not steroids. So technically he took something that was legal. It's just banned in boxing. That's all it is. Like that's what people have to understand. Like Algieri has to stop making it like, oh man, he took this, compound that was so like complex to it's legal. Like, bro, he got something that was legal in the world. It's just not legal in boxing. He got
why is it not legal in boxing
from his camp, thinking that he can maybe pass the test because it's accessible, but it'll come up as positive because of the way it metabolizes in the body and because of the way the chemical structure is. That's the whole point of it. So like he really could have passed the test if he would have taken real hormones, because those are easier to time in terms of half-life, because no matter what you take growth hormone, one type of growth hormone or another type of growth hormone, it stays in your body 24 hours. It's out. It's gone. Boom, boom, boom. These other things little bits might retain. I don't know. I don't know too much about these items because they're synthesized. Human growth hormone and real testosterone, you get raw powders. You have to cook that shit. You're a chef. Like, you're a real chef. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, rest in peace, Rich Piana. But a lot of people don't know this, is that, I don't know if you guys know Rich Piana, but he was 5 percenters. And, a lot of people that I rock with, were very tight with him. Rich Piana, he make his money doing real estate. I'm just going to keep it like that. It wasn't all on real estate, like people were saying. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these people, they know who the cooks are. These things are cooked. When you see a vial of testosterone, you go to your doctor, you get testosterone replacement, that's a raw powder that they get. And then they have to put solvents in there, what they're going to suspend the oil in, a certain melting point, heating point, so it doesn't crystallize, especially not only in the vial, but crystallize inside of you. So those are how those items are made. SARMs, I don't know how they're made, but there's a reason why bodybuilders don't say, yeah, you know what, I'm going on a SARM cycle, You're never going to win. Never going to win a damn bodybuilding show doing SARMs as a supplementation if you want to use it with everything else. Yeah, but if you say you're going to take SARMs, you're going to beat people that are on, 8 things of real gear. You're living in Disneyland and you ain't going to get nothing done. So, there's a lot of aspects that, really go into it. And I'll go back to the big baby thing. When he got popped, was it worth it? He didn't knock nobody out. He had no power. He was just punching along 100 punches around. I can eat a cheeseburger on 300 pounds, but he had no power behind it. So the item that you used was what? It was garbage, and you got exposed anyway. And you got your ass whooped in Dubai. No disrespect. That's it. Like, now you fight Andy Ruiz. Like, that's it. Like, what are you gonna do now? So it's all about, when you start using these things, the psychology behind it is really what we have to look into, because it really comes down to, you're either going to take the needle or you're not going to take the needle. These other things you want to skirt around, you're going to test positive for. It just is, unless you get the right masking agent or you time it correctly. But I wouldn't even know how to time these things correctly, because it's kind of like, why bother with the Chevrolet when you can get the Benz? Why? You got the money for it. Put it up. You a big boy. You making all that De La Hoya money, like, make that money. Put it into play. Get the real shit. Hire a real doctor. Stop cheating around and get it done. Listen, most of the guys at that level, like I was talking to the fighters the other day, when you're at that point, you're a professional athlete. Like, I'll use the example with the NBA team. The 15th man on the NBA roster could go up in the starting lineup and score 30 right in the game. The guy, what was his name for the Celtics the other day? Derek White had 38 points. He's their 5th best player. 38, just lit up 38 points. When you're at that pro level, everybody's great. You all train hard. Everybody's training hard. There's no secrets. There's no reinventing the wheel. So that's why I'm calling out that conditioning coach who was involved with this. Said he went from 156 to 143. We did bass. He didn't want to listen anymore. What didn't he want to listen to? Were you giving him more items that he didn't want to take? Were you recommending more things? What were you doing? You were bragging about how you got him there. Well, now you got him there. Now you got him caught. So what did you do wrong? What was your role? Let's hear about it. I'm going to give him the floor. I'm going to give him the floor. And if he don't take the floor, because he saw my message, he didn't respond. So I just told, I said my piece, because at the end of the day, I'm no pushover. And I'm not going to sit here and have somebody try to finesse nothing over me, because I put way too much time into this in my career, and way too many people that have taught me where that if I would let people like this try to finesse me, it would be disrespectful to my mentors. And I'm not going to have that, because they took time out to me to sit me down and really coach me on a lot of these things. It's very important I'm not trying to be rude to anybody. That's not my thing. I want that coach to set the record straight. That's it. Because he says he can't talk about certain things. Why not? There's no secrets here. If you only hold secrets, if you're hiding something that you don't want the world to know.
Facts.
But with facts over feelings, I'm done with this shit. It's my time. I don't care. My silence is broken. All call-outs are mandatory. I'm stay on that. Vinny, I still want you. I still got to get in the ring with you. But anyway, don't matter. It's mandatory. I'm putting out there the real truth from everything that I've done over the last 12 years. And I have validation from Zeb, Joel, Flat, his brother Dion, Too Raw, everybody, Nija. You go down the list, Smoke. They all
nah,
say,
I know. I know. Not a big bro. Naja told me already, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you the real deal. I already know. If not co-signing you is real.
And off the record, you could tap in with Nah and show him that it's all show and tell also. You feel me? I don't just tell it, I show it too. I showed him, like, this is the real shit what people take. I sent him and he's like, word? I'm like, yup, you see how it comes in this form? Watch when it happens with this. Boom, boom, boom. Little 1, 2, 3 Houdini. Here we go. That's it. Like, the whole point is, and I said this to a lot of strength coaches, Jim X, I sat them down. They used to pick my brain. I used to tell the fighters too. I used to tell a lot to Richardson Hitchens. You could ask Hitchens about me. I've been told Hitchens about all this stuff. So I said, there's always, whenever you see these people in the locker room before they're warming up, you're always going to see, especially coaches know coaches. They just do. Trainers know trainers throughout the world. You guys who are Pan Ams, Nationals, World Games, whatever, Olympics. There's always that 1 or 2 guys in the locker room. You're like, who are they with that? Who are they with them? They're part of their camp. Those are usually the guys doing the components, doing the protocols. Keep it a buck. They do that up until the last minute before they go in the ring. Just keeping it real, like certain types of ways to get you ready up until you get into that ring, i.e. the check drops 2 hours before, whatever the case may be. That's all I'm saying. There's always those people in the corner that you'll be like, I never, but he does something with boxing. This is what it is, and I don't want to put any business out there with Zeb, but we know Zeb's last fight. You know about that whole deal, right?
Dude was on all types of shit.
Cletus Selden, another one. He fought at Sony Hall a few months ago. Why? He got caught. He got popped 3 times. He got popped more than 3 times with roids.
Who is his backing?
I don't know, but I know that he used to get a lot of support from Cara Castronova, who now does something, trying to do something with Congress. But Cletus Selden fought at Sony Hall 3 months ago, 4 months ago, because my guy was doing security there. And I was like, wait. That's the guy that, you know what I'm saying? That because that whole situation, he tested positive. He was on a reservation, and they let it go.
Who tested positive?
Like,
who tested positive?
The dude that came up dirty.
Okay.
Dirty, yep. But it was on a reservation, and they didn't. They didn't. It was just what it was, and we're just grateful. I'm just grateful, and I'm happy and thankful every day that Zeb's alive, rocking, doing what he wants to do, living his dream, doing great work in the community, and keeping all us, inspired with his grind and what he's done to really elevate his whole type of embodiment, around the world. So I'm just grateful for that.
That's the big bro.
Damn shame that
big
this guy
right
Cletus Selden,
CCB the mob.
Big bro. Listen, he knows these are some of really young. My father taught him in high school. So him and Josiah and his brother Daniel. You could even call his brothers. I used to work with his brothers, Daniel and Josiah. I used to put them on back 15, 10, 12, 11 years ago about all this stuff that was going on. Like, I was real tight with his brothers. Real tight. We used to go to the gym all the time, man. All the time. Me, Daniel, Josiah, like, Zeb, popping here and there. And even Danny Jacobs, I put onto a lot of things when I was working with him. And I just feel that now a lot of these strength coaches, they try to, skirt around these things. They don't want to really talk about it because a lot of them, they're feeding it to these guys, man. And it's obvious to see. To my eye, it's obvious to see. To the regular general public, you're not going to look like that. But I'm so conditioned for this now because of just what I see in the gym when I see people use items just recreationally, what these other athletes do in UFC and all this stuff. They get caught with diuretics, which is the worst thing to take, to cut weight down. And Ryan didn't want to take diuretics because it is draining. And I believe that he might have even taken diuretics leading up to the Tank fight potentially because of how gaunt he looked. How gaunt he looked like he was on diuretics. You could see his ribs and stuff. So he might have taken diuretics leading to the Tank fight, which diuretics don't do anything really to improve. It's just strictly for water loss. But I just feel that it's the time now to bring this up, because there's a lot of great fighters out there that are doing it the right way, that train hard, that put their whole lives into it. And I feel bad for Haney because you know what? Put his whole life into it. God only knows what could have happened in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these are just subsidiary items, Smoke, that we talking. These aren't like, this isn't the real thing. These are light items that did this. Light. He just might have taken a dose pretty high there that came up and, things happen. But just doing something like this had an impact like that. So now imagine if he took the home run. What the hell would have happened to Devin's face after that? Probably would have, God forbid, might have had an eye socket issue or something. So, let's just be grateful that Devin's healthy and he's okay and he's able to fight another day. And hopefully they start really cracking down on this stuff, man, because like at the end of the day, anybody has any questions, shy away from it. And I'll be able to provide as much information as I can from my own experience. And if I don't know it, I always tap into my resources to give me the knowledge that I need, because I only know what I've been taught. And I always say, I don't know anything. I only know what I've been blessed to be around. And that's just really my whole mantra.
Yeah, man. So like, it's you just said a lot. You just said a lot.
Man, I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of being silent, being Mr. Nice Guy, because I'm all about elevating and bringing people around. Anywhere I go, my team goes. Like Smoke, I go somewhere, if I'm like, yo, we got something going on, boom, you coming with me. Everybody coming with me. That's how I am. So it's like, you know what?
Facts. You didn't invite
me. I'm here for a reason. I've been doing it a long time. And I just want to see the right people that I know that do it the right way really have a fair fight in the ring, because you don't want to be behind the 8 ball before you even step in there, because that's a demoralizing feeling that could ruin your mentality. It could ruin your career, and it could ruin your whole confidence, and you might never be the same after that.
Not bad.
And it's unfortunate because basically everything, and you know this too, I'm sure you guys know, a lot of boxing, besides the skill, is psychology. If you don't really believe you can do it, bro, you're going to have a long night. Like, you're not going to fight to win. You're going to fight to survive. You're there to win. So this is where everything gets kind of dicey. And, a lot of the elements that go into preparing for the fight, a lot of people, when they use these items, they look to actually kind of get a little bit of comfort. You got to put the willingness of pain and sacrifice onto you. You have to go through the uncomfortable weather conditions. You have to do that. That's what it takes to elevate everything you want to do so you can become a champion. And not only become a champion, the hardest thing in life is maintenance of being a champion. So that's where even that pressure rises up once they become champion. Now, once they got there with these substances, now they dive into more to maintain their status, because you got young bulls now. Now you're the hunted. You're not the hunter anymore. And that's always the hardest, is the defense.
Yo, go ahead, AK. I know you got some questions. You on mute.
I know, man. I'm just taking it all in. So, based on what you're saying, though.
Yeah, anybody wants to ask questions, they can ask questions. Like, I'll try my best to provide an answer to it.
Would you say, I'm just gonna just throw this out there since we on this topic, is it more fighters that's doing it than those that are
And
not?
like I said, like I really want to hear the whole details of what went on with that coach that we all know about. That, you know, listen, LL Cool J at 55 looks better than guys at 30. That's all I gotta say. LL been sauced up for years. I'm gonna call that out too. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Ladies love cool juice. That's what it is. LL Cool J, the J the juice, bruh. What it is, bruh.
Yeah, and listen, I've heard that
I don't
since I was
care.
a
I'm
kid.
here.
Dang, man, everybody getting a shot.
I've been hearing that
Well,
in New
Israel.
York
The
since I
fact
was a
that I
kid, bro. The LL was on them
well, let's
roads.
look at it like this. Let's look at it like this. Has LL aged the last 20 years? No. No. Guy hasn't aged, bro. Like, there's a reason for that. Human growth hormone is the fountain of youth. I'm sorry to tell you, there are anti-aging protocols that you can take that don't build muscle that will provide you looking younger and feeling younger and restoring your body. Human growth hormone
What's
is
the
one.
side
There's
effects, though?
anti-aging clinics for a reason.
But
Now,
what's
there
the
are some
side effects
items
of
that
these things?
in America they don't use for anti-aging because they're illegal. But overseas, they use it. Like certain methods of testosterone replacement therapy they use overseas that they don't use here, that are in pill form, that America just says, no, 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 because it's healthy. Because America, everything you take, there's always a consequence. You notice that. You take a Xanax, well, 6 hours, you're going to have a rebound effect. Gonna be fucked up. Got to take something else. You take testosterone in a certain form, up, you take too much, up, your estrogen going to go all the way. You're going to be your chest going to be looking like cone titties. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, gonna be look like birthday hats. You're gonna be singing happy birthday when you walk into the fucking happy birthday, gynecomastia, boy. They got birthday hat titties. That's what I'm saying. But there's certain methods in America that they don't do. Okay, like I'll give you another example. I'm dropping a lot of knowledge on here. For example, there's what Antonio Tarver got called. First of all, Antonio Tarver blocked me already on it. So just salute to Antonio Tarver. Like all call outs mandatory to you, bro. I ain't scared of you. I don't care. Like at the end of the day, I'll go for your kneecap, bro. Like your kneecap ain't that strong, bro. Like I'm good, bro. I'm good. Anyway, but whatever, respect him. No hate here. He got caught with the same thing 3 times. Masteron, which is a breast cancer medication, which is used to cut weight, block estrogen, and get you lean and dense. So just to give you an example, there are medications that are used for other illnesses that you could take that will help you achieve fitness results. It's just how it is. Just a lot of people really, they don't know how it works. The same thing, anti-estrogens or breast cancer. It takes it to control your
So,
levels,
like, what
you know?
what are some of the what are some of the side effects to this? AK was asking.
Of which one? Of what, the ostarine or the pro hormone?
Like the either one.
Any of them. Any of them.
Either one. It's just very harsh on the liver. Very harsh. Like you can't stay on it for more like 6. Like you'll feel like shit. It jacks up your liver enzymes. You know, everything's metabolized by your liver. Like, you know, so with the ostarine, they're in droplets. It's just the risk reward. You can't be on it as long, and the pro hormone is really harsh on the liver. Like I said, from what I looked at, it doesn't look like he took the actual injectable. Injectable always over oral. It bypasses the digestive system. So people that want to take certain things, the hot thing that people take, you know, these cutting agents, pills, whatever, a lot of them are liver toxic over time. Now, they have injectable versions that are safer, but, you know, still yield the same result. But the side effects on these things usually hits the liver very hard. You won't feel that good after a certain time if you use it for a long time. There's like a certain window where you'll feel okay, and then afterwards, you know, you'll feel that dip, like sluggish, slow, demotivated. That's usually like a little nagging cold. That's usually when your liver enzymes are, you know, kind of get up there a little bit. So
What about, like, I got somebody in the comments said, like, was Ryan's voice change a possible effect of the PEDs?
That I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. I know, like, if your testosterone levels increase, you could, you know, it could change. I.e., with women, when women take testosterone, it's over. Like, you know when women take it, like, you can hear it. It's just how it is. With men too, it happens like that, but a little bit more subtle. unless they take certain items that really act as a catalyst along with increasing your testosterone. For example, you could take testosterone, and you could also take an item that is a little bit more androgenic. What androgenic means building muscle. So, for example, trenbolone is an item that people take to build muscle, carve them out, get lean, dense, ripped, like whatever, alpha, confidence. That's 5 times more androgenic than testosterone. So if you're taking testosterone with that, through the roof. Another example is that, like, you could take testosterone, you could take other things that bind to your free testosterone that's floating around that the substance will bind to, and that'll increase your other level of testosterone. So there's so many like agents, but SARMs are it's a cheaper type version to try the same result with the hopes of, let's say in Ryan's situation, of him thinking that it wouldn't get picked up on a test is what I believe. I believe he took that with the hopes of it not getting picked up because it's accessible to buy without a prescription. That's what I believe. But I would like to hear that from the guy that's been taking credit for the victory. I want to hear this. Like I'm gonna call. He knows who he is. Because I'm calling him out because I want to learn too. Because like I'm not being a hater. I want to learn from his feedback and from his response about what went on. You're not gonna get sued, bro. Like I'll get sued before you get sued with all I'm dropping here. Because I'm dropping names. Errol, this, that. I don't care. Come at me. Like it don't matter. Like whatever. You can find you'll be able to find me in the Cayman Islands somewhere if it gets serious, man, or some area in South Africa where the U.S. doesn't have diplomatic relations with. I'll be up there. So
Yo,
I'll be in the
AK.
North Sea, Smoke. I'll be in the North Sea on a boat on a cruise. I'm gonna take a cruise on the North Sea and we'll ride some waves, man, while they figure out this litigation shit. So it's like, you know, if people want to know about this stuff, I don't know everything, but I do study. I'm a nerd at heart. I really am. I'm a nerd at heart with this stuff. And like, I always just try to stay as well versed as I can because there are so many different cocktails of what these things come about. You wouldn't even believe it. Like there's fragments of human growth hormone. You can take like 20% of the actual growth hormone. It's called frag, and you get this and that. And it's just, you know, it's nuts, you know? And also when any boxer even tests, like there's boxers in the past that test positive for ACG, and they're like, oh, that's not steroid. Wrong. That keeps your levels and it keeps you fertile as you're on cycle. And ACG is only found in pregnant women. So any athlete that gets caught with that was on cycle. That's another thing that people got to know. Manny Ramirez got caught with that. That's how they blew him open.
So that's a cover up.
You don't take ACG. To cover up, because what it does, ACG, you could have kids on cycle. You don't have to take anything when you come off if you start it when you go on cycle. So ACG, if you get caught with that, you're probably on cycle. Same thing with Clomid. Clomid is a fertility item. When you get off cycle, you want to have a kid, it boosts your levels up to crazy numbers where within 2 weeks you'll have a kid. Just is. Like anybody get caught with that, even if they didn't get caught with the actual steroid. If you get caught with an item coming off, an off-cycle item, most likely you took steroids leading up to you taking that post-cycle therapy. It's called PCT. So like with these guys on Pro Box, Malinaji, this and that, they're too they're looking over the obvious here. Because I know Algieri was in there with Conor Benn. Conor Benn, just to give you another thing, Conor Benn is not allowed to fight in the UK. When he fought Pete Dobson, he was allowed to fight in Vegas. He was not allowed to fight in UK because of the roids. Explain to me that. Because they're trying to push him in America. And that's why they chose Pete Dobson. Because people like, all right, what up? You know, Pete will fight anybody. I don't know Pete well, but I know him through the gyms.
Yeah, Pete Dobson will fight whoever.
But you're also right. But Conor Benn was not allowed to fight in the UK. That's why he fought in Vegas. He's only fought in the UK. That was his first fight in Vegas, I believe, right? When he fought Dobson, or one of the only, maybe he was only a few fights in America, but he wasn't allowed to fight in his hometown, but he's able to fight in America when he got busted with that egg shit. Come on, man. Like, come on, we got to wake up, man. Like, it's time to really, rip the Band-Aid off. You know what I'm saying? Like, rip it off. Like, this ain't no games no more. And also, we have to look into a lot of these boxers that have been dying after the fights, right? Recently, right? What about the people that fought them? What were they on? Listen, your skull can take a lot of punishment. Okay? I've been hit in the head a lot, with items and fists. Like, people have too. So,
hold on. What you gonna say, AK?
I got 2 questions then, because one of the people that responsible for one of the deaths is Subriel Matias, and So so do you believe Sabril was on something that night when that guy passed? You can hear me?
You can
You
hear
got
him?
him? Can you hear me?
Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was asking you, do you think, you know what I'm saying, that Subarel Matias was on something the night that he hit that he killed that kid?
I mean, listen, man, you never know. People have been shot in the head. People have been beaten in the head with pipes and fucking bowling pins and have survived. Leads you to think a little bit. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying, because
You right.
you have to understand
Terrence Crawford
two
been shot in
things,
the head.
right? Like, my
And
inferences prove. I just make the math, bro.
hey,
Like,
you know what?
people
You know
forget
what's
about
crazy?
history, but you can't. For example, bone is very, very hard, especially when it's calcified. If you've been fighting a long time, you're hitting things like, my hands are calcified. My knuckles, I don't feel nothing in them. This is all pressure. That's all I feel is pressure when I hit, or whatever the case may be. They're loaded up, calcium, whatever you want to call it. Now, through the years, your bones become. It's very hard to cut through bone. Like, you actually need like tools. Like in surgery, you go into a surgical room, they have saws and drills. They do. So let's say Matias was taking something. Test for blood. Let's just keep it a buck. They don't draw blood leading to test fights, mostly urine. Growth hormone really, really, really enhances your bone density, and it really does add the to the collagen growth, and it just lubricates points, and you're able to have a big withstanding of force, repetitive force. And when you use growth hormone, you're quicker, your punches snap a little more, you're more accurate. It's just the nature of the item. So would I be surprised if Matias did something? No. None of this stuff would ever surprise me. This has been going on. Holyfield went from cruiserweight at 190, and he fought Tyson at what, 220, 225? Look, you saw his build. Lee Haney was training him. Lee Haney's a professional bodybuilder. Lee Haney had no deal in being in boxing unless you're supplying roids. You would IFBB Pro Hall of Famer, bro. Why are you training Evander Holyfield? Explain to me. Like, hello, like, you know what I'm saying? Is Michael Jordan going to coach Michael Phelps how to swim? No, we don't live in this. What type of world is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? like, yo, people really get diverted. Marketing is a motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you that. Marketing is a motherfucker. I'm just gonna say it like that. And to the women fighters out there, don't think I got my eyes on you, because y'all be taking shit. I know what y'all take. I know the protocol. Anything a woman could take, a man could take with virtually minimal side effects. That's why women take certain items. Stay on it. They don't have to take much, but anything that a woman takes, a man can take it and be fine.
What you was gonna say, AK?
And that's why the items that.
Well, I was going to ask him about the women. How many women did he know? And we do got one case, and I want to know his opinion on that case. You know what we talking about, Smoke? Ask him about it. Is it legit? Did she do it or she didn't?
Alicia Baumgardner. You know she popped.
Yeah, I don't know what she got caught with. I don't know what she got caught with. I heard she got popped, but you can see on her jaw structure, she's very fine featured. Her shoulders a little bit bouldery. Clarissa Shields is natural. You can see that. You see the difference between her and Shields. There's a difference there. Shields is holding water. For women, right? Women, estrogen. Okay, for a man, if your estrogen increases, you're going to retain water. You're going to feel bloated. Your chest is going to get more watery. Estrogen for a man binds in the ass. That's what it does. Men with fat asses, no homo, they have a high estrogen content. Men that have gyno, their estrogen went a little too high there. Women like Baumgartner, who probably has bee stings for titties, she probably was on some items that kind of made her sort of virilized, which means like her clit was it just happens like that. Like there's girls that take certain male items like which I assume that item before she looks like it. It's just very, very fine to the jaw, and her shoulders are very pronounced. So she definitely has experimented, I believe, with some type of male item before. I mean, it just looks like that. I mean, her sometimes her Adam's apple looks like it could cut someone's face, which is how it is. Like, But you see her in Shields is that Shields is natural. With estrogen, women naturally hold water. It's just it. Women naturally hold water. Titties are water and fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, ass is water and fat. Like, women naturally, biologically, estrogen, you retain more water. That's why a lot of guys in the off season, this is what a lot of people don't know, sometimes guys in the off season might raise their estrogen up a little bit, bodybuilders, because it makes them bigger with more mass. That's a little bit of inside track on certain things of what people do to get creative by someone. So there's a whole chemical component out here that sometimes what doesn't make sense will make sense for the individual. And it's all based off genetics too. Like, if somebody's bound a certain way, they will be a certain way. Unless they take steroids to change their DNA makeup, that changes how they look from head to toe. It does. Like human growth hormone, you kind of reopen your growth plates. Your hands get bigger, your fingers get thicker. You know, you kind of get, if you take too much growth hormone, you get a condition called acromegaly, which is like your hands start looking like paws. Your ears get very like your earlobes get very round, and your nose gets very like round and stuff like that. Your jaw gets very wide, and your teeth get very gapped. Like, that's an overuse of growth hormone. So sometimes that happens in like in bodybuilding or even in boxing. I wouldn't even be surprised. But you could go through history. It's been going on. Like Roy Jones was, got caught light heavyweight to heavyweight. Like, you're going 40 pounds heavier and you're faster and you're still same strength. And it's like, salute to that. And Mosley too. Mosley got 10 more years out of his career doping. That's how he fought Mayweather. He was finished first fight. Everybody wrote him off. But he took the gear. He got extra few million, a lot of millions. Got out after he lost to Floyd. Had a couple bullshit fights, and that was it. But Mosley was implicated in that whole scandal, especially with the growth hormone. And like, you could see Mosley was way more jacked than he was when he fought Forrest. Way more jacked when he fought Forrest. Like, come on, like, and also when he rocked Mayweather, like, Mayweather's been hit before, like before that fight, like. That was also a little something that was suspect too. You know what I'm saying? So, it's all there. It's just that these people don't want to talk about it because it puts a target on their chest, because that's what they're doing to their fighters. These strength coaches and, whoever was in that camp with Mr. Ryan Garcia, who was taking credit for all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to hear it. I'm putting the pressure on it because that person knows all of the constituents that I network with in boxing. He has a name. He's been around for decades. Let's hear about it. You were taking credit for it. Let's hear it now. Get on. Talk your piece. Stop hiding. Groundhog Day has been over since February. Motherfucking summer coming out soon. Let's get these facts over feelings. All right? And let's handle this. Like, let's get to the nitty gritty. If you was really in that, I want to hear about it. I want to learn. I want to use it as a learning tool to enhance my own brain power. That's really it. I like feedback. I like people asking me questions, and I like asking questions too, because my goal is to really have the knowledge base from the network people that taught me this in a way that only the real tight-knit community like you and everybody, CCB and Team Judah and everybody knows that we're the ones that know. You come to us to find out what's really going on. And I wish Algeria would touch upon it, because he is educated. Like, the SARMs is a basic thing. Like, it's legal. That's all people got to know. It's legal. You want to experiment with it? Go buy it. I'm not saying recommending it, but I'm saying it's there for you to buy. And a lot of times when you buy a SARM, especially the liquid ones, it says as it's shipped, because a lot of times they don't allow those things to be shipped. It says use for research purposes only. That's how they market it, where they could ship it out. But you can use it though. So, and it's real. It's real out there, man. And like, that's why, I feel my voice has to be heard now. And, if people don't, I always say, if people don't like what I'm saying, they don't got to listen. If they don't like what I'm doing, they don't got to look. Man, life's very simple. But if people got something to say, they can come in here and say it. Like, I don't shy down from no fighter. If I called out a fighter and I suspect to use it, I'm going to stand on it. I don't care. Like, ain't nothing for me. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm 37 years old and I'm playing with house money. I should have been dead a number of years ago. So I'm riding the wave.
Yo, so AK, before we get up out of here, you got any more questions, AK?
Nah,
Yeah,
man, he
ask
pretty much.
away, bro. I want
Hey, man.
everybody to ask me anything on their head. People that might be using, if they want to use what this and that, like what they should look out for. Ask away.
I would say this. What advice would you give somebody that's in the game to try
Or
to
even you,
stay
Smoke.
away from these
Ask me
things?
something if you're curious about something, like, because I've really been now. I really want to try to really put on people to a lot of these things, because it's you just knowing the basics is more than 90% of the population out here. And it's just really just a recall of facts. You don't, like, the science behind it. I'm still learning every day, but the thing is just that the method is to really ask the questions for people that really have been in and around it, because it's a real valid epidemic out here. I'm going to put it as epidemic. Better Biev's atypical test, they let him fight, and I just can't understand that. And he dusted Callum Smith bad. Like, I don't even know if Callum Smith going to be the same after that. He might be done. So, like, we're talking like people that use this could be ending people's careers prematurely, i.e., and this is another thing, when Better Biev fought Marcus Brown, what did that look like? Cotto Margarito won, right? Did it not?
Yeah.
To me, it looked like that. Like,
Marcus was getting him. Marcus was getting him, and it was like once Marcus
but Smoke, you can't throw those many punches. You can't keep throwing, like, it's impossible. Like, you can't just keep doing that. You're gonna be dead after 2 rounds. Like, he couldn't pace. Better Biev coming like a wall, like a Moldovan wall, bro. And you see what he's doing? He's repping Canada. I don't know, where's he from? Better Biev. He's one from those countries, right? Like in Eastern Europe.
He's from Canada, right?
He's repping Canada.
No, I think he's from like one of like the Soviet countries, but he's repping Canada.
Right. Russia.
But
He's from Russia.
Moldova has a hub, like I said earlier in the cast. Balkan Pharmaceuticals is the centerpiece of Russia, Poland, Uzbekistan, and any of those countries in and around Eurasia or Europe itself, Eastern European. They get a lot of them. Like, you'll have a pharmacy that's like the hub, like Balkan Pharmaceuticals. It's not a real pharmacy; it's an underground pharmacy. They have branches in other parts of the world, almost like a Starbucks franchise. So you have like the Rite Aid, but you have Rite Aids all over that are producing all that. Same thing. That's what they have in Mexico. Same kind of concept. So it's all over the world. Like, those names, those pharmaceutical names, those underground pharmaceutical names are brand names in that industry, in the underground world of, the PEDs and all those enhancement type of items. Like, they're all over. And especially with Better Biev and Triple G, even they're also like Uzbekistan, Moldova, Russia, Poland. They're all interconnected with the channels of trade. So they all have to kind of, in a certain way, like, navigate around each other when you're either doing some type of, cargo type of trade and, whatever it is, like something like that. So it passes through those towns and those and especially the Moldovan pharmacies have been caught with having labs in Poland, in Russia, in in and out Germany, things like that. So it's just it's a lot of, I'll say it's a lot of CSI work with this stuff. It's a lot of CSI, a lot of, I want to say it's on the same frame as like forensics when you really get down to it, because you're really diving into deep levels of biology here, like real deep levels of biology and endocrinology. Like, you could put an endocrinologist on and you could have them evaluate somebody's, body type, and they could tell you, like, yeah, they're probably on something like this. If they know about, like, the performance enhancers, they can tell you. Certain things get induced when you take certain items, certain things get suppressed. It all works from the brain on down. It all works from the top. It's a trickle down. Everything reacts from the brain. The pituitary gland is the master hormone. It controls everything in your body. Everything else rides off after that. And it targets your limbic system and, your frontal cortex. And, there are certain things that when you take certain items, as much as you want to be in control, you can't. James Toney got caught. People forget that too. Like,
for real,
Klein,
people do
Sam
forget
Peter.
that.
The list goes on and on.
People forget that James Toney got caught.
Got caught, like whatever. Like it's just how it is. Like UFC has made it a part of their culture. That's the difference. They say, all right, whatever. John Jones getting caught 8 times. All right, he's fighting again. Boxing hasn't done that. It's true though. UFC. How many times UFC these guys getting caught?
Yo, John Jones got caught.
Taking this, like 6 times. Like you're able to fight in UFC, make bread. All right, that's good. Like boxing, they're I want to say like this, like they're not as progressive, like in terms of that. Like they're not okay. You know, it's not a part of our culture, but it was a part of baseball's culture for a long time. And it's just boxing. I'm glad it's not a part of boxing. I feel it has no point. It has no part in boxing. It has no point in any contact sport. You want to hit a baseball? That's fine. Whatever. Allow it in baseball for entertainment. It's an entertainment sport, not football. Anything contact, you're really putting people's not only lives at risk, but you're putting the whole family of these people at risk, man. The whole family. You're putting a lot of family
depending on that person to get money.
The family takes a hit. Yeah, like, and then it even works against the fighter because if you have a lifetime ban and this is what you put your life into, you're 25 years old. What are you doing now?
Facts.
What are you gonna do now? You be a TikTok diva? You gonna be a TikTok diva? Is that what we're doing? Like, that's what we're doing. I mean, you know, listen, Ryan's gonna start taking pages out of Oscar and start posing in lingerie and start doing in calls. That's what he's gonna start doing. He'll start doing in calls. This is also Oscar's fishnets and start being like, yeah, come through, you know.
Yeah. But yo, look, man, I got some things I got some errands I gotta run. I got some things I gotta handle. So we definitely gonna do a part 2. I appreciate it.
Also, I gotta tell you with an event that's coming up on June 1st. There's this private boat party in the city. I gotta send you the invite to that. No, it was sent to me personally, so I gotta send that to you.
Let me know, bro.
Yeah. This way, you know, get network, man. You know, yeah. It's in the city. It's on June 1st.
You already, man. Hit me up. Well, we already in contact, so you already know, bro. Definitely send me that.
We already in the channels, man. Like we already in that.
Say that. So, all right, man. Yo, AK, you got anything you want to ask real quick?
Nah, I just want to say, man, thank you for sitting down with us, chopping it up. I shared it on my platforms too, so a lot of people going to hear what you put out today. So just appreciate you for tapping in with us.
Yo, Casey, you already know, man. Ain't nothing but love. Thank you. Tell your pops I said was good, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell him to keep his head.
Man, thank you for that. Pops coming at he's like, yo, Toe Smoker, so it up, man. I love, man. So
we're definitely, man. Tell pops a honey with me, man. I love, yo, his pops a cool dude, AK. Good dude, man. You know what I'm saying?
For real, guys. And like I said, anything you want to bring me on to clarify things, just always bring me on. I'll try my best to, you know, try to keep everything to a good medium and break it down into the components where, you know, the public will understand, like, you know, like very easily.
Say that. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Tell them where they can find you and shit right quick.
Just my Instagram, KCR._. That's it. Just hit me up, ask me questions, you know, and I'll try my best to answer as best I can. And, you know, I'm here to support all the fighters out here. I appreciate all the ones that are training hard, doing the right thing, staying loyal to the grind. And big shout outs to Elijah Pierce. You know, we've been in contact too. So big shout outs. Congrats on his most recent victory. That's big respects. Keep loving up. I see you with Frank Martin. Yeah, see you with Frank Martin. So, yo, keep putting that greatness in here, man. Your time is coming real soon. Like, listen, sometimes you got to snap that neck to collect that check. And that's how it is, man.
Word. Yo, everybody that chimed in, thank you. I want to say peace to CCB Mob. Peace to Dave Flat Jr. Happy birthday, my guy.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Peace to Zab Judah. It's your
shout
boy,
out to my guys.
TV. You know what I'm saying? I want to say again, thanks to my co-host, aka the Apostle. Casey, we definitely gonna have you back on here for part 2. You know what I'm saying? All my peoples, y'all be safe and blessed, man. We're rolling up another one. Peace.
Salute.
We're up. Bless up.
You already.